Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining the webinar. So we have a very exciting topic. I'm sure we all miss the office. We all miss how it used to be, how we used to have communication, the flow of communication with our employees, with our friends, the discussions around the coffee machine, meeting, greeting the new joiners. So today's topic is to see how we can, using modern tools, bring back those interactions. So we're looking at how can we, bring back what we used to enjoy in our office, um, in today's hybrid work environment. So as presenters, my name is Azzat Sayeq. I'm from Cloud for Work. So we are a Microsoft partner helping organizations who have invested in cloud solutions make the most out of it. And when we say the most out of it is when we help you using those modern tools to enable your business, to enable you to adapt to the current situation. So we are looking at making sure that you are leveraging all the modern tools to help your business. I'm very excited also to be joined by Roshan Ugoda. He is the business leader director for Powell Software, and Powell Software is one of the leading tools in today's world that is really solving the pain and solving the challenges that we're seeing in the hybrid environment. So for today, we have an agenda where we're gonna talk about the current corporate communication. I mean, just kind of reminders, but we are all experiencing that. But most importantly, we're going to talk about how to create an engaging and social workplace given the current situation, and show you how does it look. It's very important to see the UI, the experience of how does it look and how is it easy to be accessible and all of these things. And of course, we have a very important thing, which is a special webinar offer. So for the webinar attendees, we have a special offer that we're going to talk about, and then the Q&A. What I want to remind you here is that for the Q&A, please post them in the Q&A box. We will cover them as we go, and we will check them as we go. And towards the end, we're going to have a special Q&A, 15 minutes to answer them all. So please use the Q&A for that. So I think that's a reminder, because we are all, we've been maybe 18 months into the current situation. We have all experiencing a change in the way we work, and the way we communicate, and the way we do everything. Just to see them in the statistics, these are really very important statistics. So as per Gartner, 75% of the companies will shift their employees to work remotely permanently. So we saw that we had first to work at home. We saw the hybrid environment, but now companies are shifting. Some are shifting companies to permanent remote. And this is not only in the US. We've been working with banks, oil and gas companies, even governmental entities. They are also thinking and planning, and some already executed the shift to permanent working from home. So the challenges that we see are not there, are here to stay, and we need to really tackle them. 50%, as per Coastal Cloud, 50% of the remote employees are feeling disconnected. So again, this reminds us of what we miss in the office. So they are disconnected. They don't know what's happening. They are not aware of, there is no proper communication. Their link is email and maybe some video chats or some corporate communication. So the disconnection is very, very important, and it's impacting the well-being of employees, and it's impacting their productivity and so on. 25% of the time is spent on searching for information. So almost like a day, more than a day is spent per week spent on searching. So the finding information that we used to maybe ask a colleague sitting next to us, or just walk in the office and get some information, now is something that we spend time and time searching for it. And of course, the digitization is something that is happening and will keep on happening. The frontline workers are actually also very much impacted, because they are on the front line. and they don't have, they're indicating that they don't have the right tools. So there is no, again, proper communication and so on. So I mean, the challenges we are all facing them, they are real, they are here to stay. So it's really on us to think and brainstorm and to find solutions that will help the staff and the employees to come back together. So with that, now we're gonna move to talk about some best practices. So I'll pass it on to Roshan. So he has experience, working in different markets in a global company that is also helping, facing those challenges across the globe, and he'll tell us more about, how we can help also, how we can help you and to achieve that. So Roshan, welcome. Thank you for joining the webinar today. I'll pass it to you. So inform us.
Thank you, Azad. Good morning, everyone. So Azad has given us some nice statistics leading us to this conversation. So I will give you a story around my chosen profiles. So in my story, our hero is the employee who's the productive agent and driving our businesses. So I have also chosen 3 key profiles. Let's call them the change agents, who's enabling us to help to connect our employees in the digital workplace. We've heard about the recent figures that's coming from Microsoft, coming from industry analysts. This hybrid work market is going to be this $50 million worth market by 2023. And we've all learned how to be productive from remote work since the pandemic. Employees everywhere have really settled into routine of remote work as companies plan to move for the future. They are trying to decide on the best path forward for future of work. And the pandemic demystified the process of working from home. As a result, many organizations are looking to a new hybrid work model that combines remote work and office collaboration. So it's needless to say that the next great disruption is hybrid work. The question is, are we really ready for it? Or do we think we are ready because we have so many tools available, accessible to us for our employees? So my name is Roshan. For over 20 years, I've worked in SaaS tech companies who's building digital workplace solutions. And I have been part of the business launches on intelligent workplace software, launching software businesses in the UK, Europe, now in South Africa, and also Middle East and Africa. I'd like to call myself a passionate agent of developing futuristic and humanized SaaS tech companies, and I'm currently working for Pulse Software, a Paris HQ-based leader in digital workplace software, Microsoft ISV, and a Gold Platform partner. So if you look back to 2020, really 2020 behind us, we are on the brink of disruption. As great as last year's sudden shift to remote work, the move to hybrid work is here. Remote work has given employees more flexibility and has created job opportunities in new locations. Talent is everywhere in this hybrid work. A vast talent marketplace is one of the brightest outcomes from the shift to this remote work. But there are challenges ahead of us. And salient research reports coming from Microsoft, coming from Gartner, coming from other industry experts really indicates that our teams have become more siloed, and this digital exhaustion is a real and unsustainable threat to our companies. And this is actually leading as a result of shrinking social networks. And it leads to slowing down the innovation at work if we do not address this issue. And in reality, our leaders are a little out of touch with the employees, and they also need a little wake-up call from the communications, the HR and IT to make them understand the reality. Why? Because we all miss those encounters to bump into our bosses and share a cup of coffee and share our gut feeling about a certain project and where the business is heading, and to basically to give those important cues to them. But data is clear. We have learned more than a year now that our people are struggling a little bit with this hybrid work. And we need to find new ways to help them. We know this from trillions of productivity signals that's coming from Microsoft 365, quantify the precise digital exhaustion some workers are feeling. On the flip side of the coin, due to lack of access to digitized business processes and communications gaps for our first line workers are also feeling disconnected and undervalued. So this ties in with a new challenge, a challenge of overcoming the digital divide in our workplaces. So we have three main profiles that's operating in a digital workplace. Some of us are working, do not have the luxury to work from home. We have to go, we are the key workers, we have to go into the office, we have to go into the factory floor. And some of us are really lucky that we could get our work done remotely because we have all the relevant tools and access. And as for our mobile first line workers, not all of them are fortunate enough to have the right tools, the accesses from their mobile devices to get their work done and to be productive. Yet as companies, we continue to drive this notion of high productivity, which is masking an exhausted workforce due to lack of simplicity, access to information in a timely manner, leading to low sense of belonging in a company. And this is all due to missing out on those social links with our peers, that impromptu meeting and a catch up over a coffee. And we used to have all of these things in our old physical workplace. So with this understanding, let me introduce you again to our three key profiles in a company, or let's call them our change agents. The HR, the communication, and IT coming together to support our hero, the employee, to be productive. From a HR context, they are rethinking about employee experience, how to connect your employees in this hybrid workplace, and to really give them a refined employee experience to compete for the best and most diverse talent. A poorly designed digital workplace, or the absence of it, has left many employees feeling overworked and disconnected. With remote work positions more often preferred by more women and Generation Z and some of the minority communities, this is also an amazing opportunity for HR leaders to create a more diverse and inclusive workplace. The need for an employee experience platform is more than ever critical for organizations for employee well-being, where employees can access information, drive their engagement, and learning together in this digital world is really critical for businesses. And HR leaders, it is really the time to rethink onboarding and increasing support for employees early in their career to ensure their ideas are heard and they can contribute fully as they join a company. As for communications, these are the agents of driving organizations' visions, missions. These are the excuse me, I need to find my slide. So as for communications department, they need to drive their visions and missions and instill this sense of belonging with their employees. So communications and marketing's role is very critical for the organizations as well. And bringing all of these things together is the IT teams. Bringing all of these two together is the IT team. The IT teams are constantly challenged to create a solutions on top, leveraging their existing investments and infrastructure. They have some of the business challenges to address in creating a digital workplace. They need to think about the compelling look and feel, applying the company branding, and bringing in a mobile experience, a responsive mobile experience, and render information in a personalized manner for different employees. And they also have challenges around designing a portal for people to work in a remote workplace by managing templates and they need to think about deployment speed, resources, and applying the security and governance is ever so important for a company. At Power Software, what we offer is an out-of-the-box configurable digital workplace. A Power Intranet built on Microsoft Office 365. Integrating all third-party applications with our customizable templates, allowing you to put together your people at the center. Center meaning between this physical, remote, and technology. And you need to do this at scale, applicable to all personas and profiles in your organization to drive this communication, employee engagement, diversity, and create this inclusive hybrid work culture for your employees. This will give employees the more flexibility in structuring their day, create more time for focus work, with ready-made templates and digitized business processes, allowing your employees more time and energy to bring their best self to work. What is more important is that to achieve a rich experience like this takes a matter of weeks with partners like Cloud for Work working on Power Software. So with that said, seeing is believing. Let me take you through a walkthrough of a Power Intranet portal. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm Linda Wave, an HR and a communications manager. As you could see immediately, Power Software is leveraging Microsoft Office 365. It's built on Microsoft Office 365, but we could hide that to accentuate your company corporate branding. So this Power Software logo can be your own company branding. You could have your own look and feel, the colors, the corporate themes, etc. So as an employee, as I start my day, I could see all the relevant news that's coming from my company. In this carousel menu, I can go deep. I could see the number of views. I could like and interact with this post as well. And then I have a quick access links to my learning center, help desk, to access a people directory. I can book my holidays on the go, submit my timesheets, and submit my travel forms, etc. And in this beautiful floating widget, it's very personalized to my profile based on my security trims. I could start my day by looking at the recent activities that I've involved in, some of the documents that I have been working on. And I can search for information. It's a rich search engine coming from my Intranet portal. I could search for information as I type in Powell. Brings up all the information that I need. It's coming from the internet contents and news articles, and also the documents, and I can also search from people directory. Sorry, bear with me, my internet is a little cranky today. And I can favorite items. As you could see here, I could favorite some of my items, and I could favorite apps, some portal pages, sites, and I could even create an external link outside of the internet. And for content creators, as an HR or communications manager, I could see the Intranet adoption here. It indicates the number of unique visitors. On a 30, 60, 90-day basis, I could see where the traffic's coming from and which devices, whether it's coming from a laptop, mobile device, etc. And as a content creator, I could very easily, based on my security settings, I could create content here. I could add content, I could contribute, and I could share site properties, etc. So if you go back, as HR teams, bear with me a second, let it load up. I could also see all the departmental news. This information is very personalized to my job role. Based on my security settings set by the IT team, I see the information that's relevant for me. I could change this preference. If I want to see additional information, I could choose. So at the moment, I'm seeing information as a HR manager. I could also add IT, and I could save the preference. Immediately, my preferences have taken into account, and I could see a different set of news. And my intranet also gives me a small HR corner. It comes with built-in widgets for HR people to drive the relevant news, render the relevant news for employees. It introduced me or the new employees joining the organization. It gives me access to new job offers that I could apply. It even has a widget to publish birthdays, so you could engage, you could send a quick message through Microsoft Teams, email, or make a quick call to wish Linda a happy birthday. And it comes with all the other social informations of employees. A new baby is born for someone in a different department. You could go ahead and wish those people. And of course, no intranet is complete with the HR policies and guidelines. And finally, it has a Power TV. This is coming from Microsoft Streams, and it could be anything really. It could be coming from YouTube, it could be coming from Vimeo. This is where you could really encourage your employees to watch some videos, they could learn, it could be coming from your learning management system, etc. Now let's go into my board. When I start my day, with getting all the relevant information. And now I go into my board, a special dashboard personalized to me. Here I have access to all the Microsoft Office 365 tools. And this is where I upload information that's relevant to me. I tell the world, my colleagues, what I'm doing, some of my interests, the hobbies, etc. And here we have this Yammer integrated to communicate for public chat at scale with the entire organization. And I also have my saved news here from the internet as well. And moving on, I even have access to my Microsoft Teams, all the teams that I'm a member of, and some of the documents that have been working in the last 24 hours. And finally, I even have access to my emails, my next events coming from Microsoft Calendar, and I could on the fly, I could really create my task. It's coming from Microsoft Plan. So it's a very personalized experience based on employee persona and profile in the organization, based on the security trims set by your IT teams. You could really render information to right people in a timely manner with the relevant pieces of news. As for departments, let's take a walk through in a HR manager's shoes. One of the important tasks that we have to do in this hybrid work is to actually onboard employees. And we do not have the luxury of having this welcome lunch, walk the new employee across offices to introduce to everyone. So what we need to provide as an HR manager, a personalized space for all employees to access their onboarding toolkit. With Power Intranet, we have ready-made templates already available for HR managers to welcome new employees, access their onboarding team from an onboarding toolkit, and they will have access to all the relevant information, the company policies, and even their one-to-one meeting guidelines, travel policies, etc., and access to some useful documentation they need. And this is an HR onboarding template for all employees joining the organization. And there is a part that you could also have a welcome message from your CEO welcoming new employees, and also give you access to relevant topics about company through forms of video. So this is already made. You don't need to write lines and lines of coding to build. Within weeks, you could have this slick onboarding experience for your employees. Now, if we move on to the communications department, this is where communications teams are driving their visions and missions and render timely communications to their employees, keep them aligned to the organizations. And communication is the starting point of making employees productive. So what we do is we bring in the employee advocacy program, a built-in template available for communications teams to publish relevant news in a timely manner based on geopolitical situations, based on your new product launches, based on your results that you release, a message from your exco coming to your employees. And we allow your employees to actually share with external social media, with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, even inside Microsoft Teams channels directly from here. And to make it even more fun and to drive employee engagement, what we have done is we bring a bit of gamification into this. Based on employee social sharing, we allocate points to each employee based on the platform they use to share. And we create a small leaderboard to see the social sharing champions in the organization. This is a fun way of engaging your employees to communicate to the outside the world about your company achievements, your new product launches, your new projects that you're working on. And it's a great way when you partner with marketing to generate leads for your companies using digital channels as well. So this is how we bring in a bit of gamification into your digital workplace. Now, as for corporate services for your facilities managers and office managers, and with the understanding that not all of us are lucky enough to work 100% remotely. And if we do have to walk into your office, we need to make sure that our employees are safe. So we provide an out-of-the-box template, a flex desk solution to pick your desk. It could be anything. It could be picking your desk, a meeting room, and meeting room, or even resources. This is something that's available out of the box inside our Powell Intranet, and I could on the go very quickly book these meetings. And I could work safely, keeping the safe distance policy and keeping in line with safe distance policy. I could securely work, get my work done, and get out of the office. So as you could see, you have just seen a tip of the iceberg. There's more that I could showcase. But finally, what you need to understand is, as a new employee joining the organization, due to lack of these social interactions, I may not have an opportunity to connect with all employees. I need to know who's working in which department, who are my mentors, who are my champions, who's my functional leaders, etc. So Powell Intranet also comes with a beautiful people directory where you could find people, the relevant people, with their job roles, using this set of refiners, with their job roles, some keywords based on their skills, office locations, etc. And very quickly you could send them a message, get in touch with them, so you don't feel disconnected from your peers in your new workplace. So as you could see, Powell Intranet is designed to connect your employees in a hybrid workplace to support the goals of communication, HR, and IT teams. It is a real simple solution. You could launch within weeks. You don't have to custom build something for months and months. You might ask me, how is this possible to do that? For that, I have an answer. What we offer behind Powell Intranet, we offer a designer engine. This is the brainchild behind bringing this rich experience to life. It's called Powell Manager. This is where your IT teams and the partners like Cloud for Work access ready-made templates available on Powell Intranet. They design and customize and put their look and feel, the brand, and customize your intranet the way you like it to drive your communications, HR, and organizational goals. And you test it, you send it to production and deploy onto your SharePoint tenant. And if you invest on Powell Intranet, it is an evergreen solution. We keep up with the changing Microsoft technologies and innovations, making sure that you have the state-of-the-art best digital workplace or the best intranet portal that's in line with the latest and greatest of technologies that Microsoft is releasing. and you could adapt and evolve over time without having to redo it, without having to allocate more resources, spend more money to design. That's the beauty of having your intranet as a SaaS solution. Not only that, we, as a result of a powerful internet experience to connect your employees in this hybrid work, you will be driving your existing investments that you made in Microsoft Office 365. Thanks to Microsoft Graph experience, Graph API, we connect all Microsoft services into Power Intranet. And we also use our Universal REST API to connect all your third-party applications like ServiceNow for IT ticketing, Workday for HR, LinkedIn, Twitter, or Instagram for marketing teams, or YouTube, to bring all these siloed third-party experience island. Eventually, your employees will have this single pane of glass experience to get their work done in this hybrid workplace. They do not need to jump between browsers. They do not need to struggle to find information, losing so much time and causing to further digital exhaustion. So this is the brainchild behind our digital workplace. So as for HR, so as you have seen, we address the HR goals, the communications, and the concerns of IT teams, and we bring this beautiful experience to connect your employees and to drive your employees' digital dexterity, giving them access to information on their fingertips and feel really connected for the organizations. As our different employee profiles are coming from different walks of life and they do different job roles in our organizations, diversity and inclusivity is a key topic. Thanks to our out-of-the-box templates, we could address all of that, and you have just seen a tip of the iceberg. So you'd be well advised to book a personalized demo or assessment session with our team Cloud for Work to define your scope of work or a statement of work and further experience a personalized demo from them. Thank you for listening. My name is Roshan. I hand you over to Izzat. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshan. Thank you, Roshan, for that great presentation and the demo. So just to talk about this, the webinar special offer, and before that, there's just few points I wanted to summarize here. So as you can see, the use cases are very much linked and directed to what we are experiencing in today's workplace. But what's important is the time to deploy. So previously, we used to take us months to develop portals and intranet, but today with tools like Power Manager, we can do it in weeks. So 2-3 weeks we are up and running. So really the time to deploy is very important with those tools, and that is enabled by the cloud and by Microsoft Office 365. The second point is about mobility. So today we have a hybrid workforce, but we also have a very mobile workforce. So from your mobile, no need to think about responsive intranet. We no need to think about all these things. You have a ready-made app downloaded. You have access to all the communication, all the tools that has been discussed and shown in the demo. And finally, from experience also working on intranets for many years, the cost. So we are using ready-made templates. We are using we are reusing things that were already developed, so that the cost to deploy is is reduced and very attractive in today's world. So we're very excited for the offer that we are offering today. So there are two components really. One is we are offering a free 2-month subscription to Powell software. So if you are attending the webinar or we contact you after the webinar, there you could pay for 12 months and get 2 months free. So you will get 14 months of subscription for the webinars attendee. What we're offering also is a free workshop. So one of the main challenge when we are deploying those kind of solutions is what to put there, what to have on the portal, how to build a proper information architecture, what to display, how to structure it, and all these things. So that is a challenge that usually consultants are getting paid to help and we are happy to support you with that. So we have a free workshop to assess your requirements, to put them together, document them, and then see how we can map that to Powell solutions and offer you a bundle to meet your requirements. So you can contact us, and we will also contact you for that. So following the special offer, now we have also many questions that we have, and we're happy to. I'll go through the questions. I'll ask Roshan for some, try to help, try to answer some. So just to remind you also at this stage to post your questions on the Q&A, and we'll be able to answer them. So let me start with the one that we got, the first one. So the first question we got from Rahul is, can you explain how this will help frontline workers? Please share a use case. So I think I can take that question, Roshan. So basically, yes, thank you. So the frontline workers, I mean, like any other worker in the current situation, they are also feeling disconnected. They're also feeling that they don't have the right tools, like we discussed at the beginning of the presentation. Having access from their mobile, from any device to all this information would be very, very helpful for frontline workers. Having access to book or to workflow automation while they are on the go is also very, very important for the frontline workers. So the use cases are unlimited, really. It depends on how we can, what are the challenges that we have in hand. But some examples could be, I mean, about communication, HR related issues, escalation of things that they see on the ground with a proper solution, with a proper workflow, taking photos of something on the ground that they want to relate back to management, automating a lot of the workflows. So when you automate workflow, you need a platform or a digital workplace to kick them off, to start them, to trigger them. So that would be this platform. Next question we have is about the languages. So Roshan, maybe you can take that question. What are the languages supported by Powell software?
Absolutely, Azad. Thank you. Yes, and that is a very important question, actually, very good question. So our portals are multilingual. We support around 50 plus languages supported by Microsoft Azure Translator. So we could support any language really with RTL. So yeah, have that discussion with Azad and the team when you want to embark on this Powell Intranet journey. So yeah, we support around 50 plus languages.
Yeah, and I think the translation is important because we have a very diversified workforce. So you could use Microsoft Translator and automatically translate the content from English to Arabic to French to Hindu to any language that is supported by the
absolutely, Azad. I mean, this is where the multilingual portal is very important these days, because when we talk about diversity and inclusivity, and having a portal accessible in your own language is key.
Yeah, thank you. So the next question we have, what type of Office 365 licenses are required for Powell to work?
Any kind of Office 365 licenses will do that, include SharePoint starting from F1 to F1, and we could work with, as long as you're on Office 365 and having access to SharePoint, we could work with those customers.
Yeah. Do we need to have Microsoft Office 365 licenses to build a Powell Intranet? So I think, I mean, that's a very good question. So Powell Intranet can be built, I mean, is built on SharePoint. So it's kind of sits on SharePoint and lives on SharePoint. Now you can do it on SharePoint Online, which is part of Microsoft 365, or you can also do it on SharePoint on-premise. So both are supported. Who's going to implement and how long it takes? So Roshan, you can take that, and I can add to it as well a few points if you want.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, we work with a set of qualified partners, local experts like Azad Cloud for Work team, because they are Microsoft partners as well. So they have the experience on building these Power Intranet type software experiences on top of Microsoft Office 365. So you will have your first consultation sessions, the assessments together with the teams like Cloud for Work, and to define the scope of the project. And then they will define the timelines. They will use an agile approach to embark on this project and bring Power Intranet to life.
Great. So on the question on how long it takes, so here, of course, I mean, the answer from a service, it depends. But what's important to stress on is the time to deploy. So since we are using ready-made and reusing a lot of the templates and modules and web parts, we can deploy very quickly. So we've deployed intranets in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So it's very agile. We have Microsoft SharePoint Online ready to use. We plug and play. And this is a great advantage given the current situation. You don't want to deploy something that is going to take a year to be live, and during that year, new things happen, the environment change again. So the agility is very important, and to make sure that the tools that you are deploying is supporting those changes and the speed of those changes. The next question is, can we change the score in the gamification? I think yes, we can. This has been answered also by Khaled. What is your pricing model? So Roshan, you want to talk about the pricing of Powell, and then we can add to
absolutely, Azad. I mean, the pricing works. It depends on the size of your company. We have an SMB offering to based on the size of your users. We have a bundled offer between any company between 50 to 1,000 employees. As you go above 1,000 plus employees, we will price the solution per user basis. It's actually dime on dollars, really. And so between 50 to 1,000 employees, we have bundled packages based on the size of your workforce. And as you exceed 1,000 plus, we will charge per user. It's a SaaS solution, so it's SaaS economics at play, and it's per user per month basis, but we charge, of course, a year upfront.
Yeah. So from a services perspective, there is a one-time deployment fee to set it up, to deploy, a few pages. And then what we make sure is that you become independent, so you are autonomous. We teach you how to manage it, how to administer the portal, and then you keep going on yourself. So, but also the services here will depend on how many sites we want to deploy, what are the integrations and things like that we need to scope on a case-by-case basis. Okay, great. I think we have a lot of questions. Maybe we take 2 more. So what about Viva integration? I think this is maybe in the back of the mind of people who are like, Viva is up, out, what is Powell, what's the integration? So maybe Roshan, you can tell us a few points about that.
Absolutely, and Viva is a rich experience, employee experience platform launched by Microsoft. And thanks to how we build our experience on top of Microsoft Office 365, we could integrate solutions like Viva to bring those employee insights, the knowledge, and the connections that's available on Viva platforms to make it an even more richer employee experience. It can be done very comfortably.
Okay, great. So the next one, I think we can close with this question is, does Powell support mobile? I mean, of course, no question about that. There is a Powell app that is installed on the.
Is that if you don't mind, let me actually demonstrate to answer this question.
Okay, super. Please go ahead.
That's a very good question. In fact, that's a point that I forgot to mention. It's a very important point. Powell, in fact, comes with a responsive mobile device, and it's accessible from mobile device for your first-line workers. You could send the relevant information for their first-line workers with selected portals accessible from their mobile device. And Powell's also working on desktops and laptops, etc. And most importantly, once you get the right information, once you give the right information for your employees, when they understand the company's objective, when they understand what they need to drive, the productivity happens inside Teams, Microsoft Teams. Productivity happens between your like-minded colleagues with shared goals and visions. So what we do with Powell Intranet, we bring Powell Intranet inside Microsoft Teams, as you could see here. So when you start your day, you get your information, the news, and the late and up-to-date, and you get all the up-to-date relevant information coming from your business. And once you understand what's happening in your organization, you jump onto Teams to collaborate, be productive, and get your work done. So that's the whole rationale behind it. So we bring, it comes with the responsive mobile design. It's design, and it also comes with an app, a Powell Intranet app that sits inside Microsoft Teams as well.
Great, great. I think with that because we kind of reached the time. If you have more questions, you can post them. We'll answer them. We'll get back to you on a one-to-one basis. So Roshan, can you go back to the slides, please, just on the what's next? So what's next for us is we will send you. So we record the session. We'll send you the recording. And you will be able to download the recording, share it with your colleagues. And if you have any, the next slide, please, Roshan. So if you have any question to us, we're putting our email if you want to connect with us. So it's connect@cloud4work, or of course you can go to our website, cloud4work.com. So with that, I would like to thank you for attending. Thank you, Roshan, for participating in the demo.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me around.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you all for attending, and we'll talk to you during our next webinar. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.